remind him that this is the city where 9/11 had occurred, and the New York City Police Department has a reasonable suspicion that Muslims could be behind another attack in this city. And in fact, I had to remind Arthur Sulzberger Jr. at the time we spoke in April of this year that the New York City Police Department had thwarted 14 different terrorist attacks in New York City up until that time. And that one of them had been aborted in December 2010 when a bomb didn't go off, thank God, only 4 blocks from the New York Times building. But Sulzberger assured us that they're not after Ray Kelly or the New York City police. They're just concerned about the rights of these potential terrorists. This is the kind of media that we've been taking on for over 40 years through Accuracy in Media, and that we need your support on in order to confront the Times and its chairman, who sets the tone at this important and still influential newspaper. Let me tell you about this paper. I asked Chairman Sulzberger why his paper had rejected an ad from Pamela Giller and Robert Spencer's Stop Islamization of Nations, calling attention to the oppressive nature of radical Islam and the violent teachings of the Prophet Muhammad. Totally rejected by the Times. Sulzberger said, well, we rejected that ad because we were afraid it would incite violence in the Middle East. I said, okay, Mr. Chairman, then why did you previously accept a full-page ad attacking the Catholic Church and calling on people to leave the Catholic Church because it was corrupt? He said, well, we believe in freedom of the press and political advertising. What's the difference, ladies and gentlemen? The difference is Sulzberger and his henchmen knew that Cardinal Dolan would not authorize a suicide bombing of the New York Times building. That's the difference. But you see, it's not just a matter of being concerned about provoking violence or protecting their personnel. Because if that was the case, they wouldn't wage a relentless campaign against those who are protecting us, against the New York City police, against Commissioner Ray Kelly. In one of the many articles that the New York Times ran attacking Kelly, they even complained that this guy doesn't even take a vacation. He's too committed to his job. This is ridiculous in the city of 9/11, that you let the New York Times get away with these kinds of campaigns, which in the case of the Associated Press actually won that news agency a Pulitzer Prize. Attack the police and you win. Attack the police, you get an award. Attack the police, you get a prize. But don't offend the Muslims. You can offend the Catholics, because they're not going to fight back. They're not going to come out into the streets and attack you. They're not going to bomb your building. This is the double standard of the media today. And those of us, I'm on one of those lists, 30 radical right figures of prominent Islamophobes, along with Pamela Geller.
Yeah! Congratulations!
Guilty as charged, along with all kinds of people that I've never heard of, never known before, from neo-Nazi and Ku Klux Klan groups. We're all being thrown together in order to smear and intimidate us. But you know the old saying about you can call me names. You can call me anything you want to. I can take that. But we're here today with freedom fighters from Europe who are not only being called names, they're being physically attacked, threatened, and even murdered for speaking out. These groups attacking us carry such fancy names as the Southern Poverty Law Center or the Center for American Progress. My gosh, those are impressive names, impressive groups, the latter being funded through millions of dollars from the notorious George Soros. Which raises the issue of the need for you to support Pamela Geller and Robert Spencer and what they're doing here today. Yeah, the private security is necessary, and it's going to be costly because the New York City Police Department is out there on the streets, thank God. They've been doing their jobs, but we have to protect ourselves any way possible, but it's going to cost money. We need your support. We can't compete with a multi-billionaire hedge fund operator like George Soros, who's worth $26 billion, putting money into the destruction and subversion of the United States. And then to top it off, we're trying to get our message out, and what do they do to us? They not only defame us and call us names, and in Europe they're attacking and actually physically maiming and killing people. Here, we've given a welcome mat to these foreign propaganda channels to come into the U.S. media market to confuse the American people about the issues and what's at stake. Al Jazeera, the voice of the Muslim Brotherhood. Press TV, an organ of the Iranian regime operating on K Street in Washington, D.C., with access to the U.S. media market in clear violation of U.S. sanctions against Iran. And the Obama administration lets them get away with it. And then on top of that, Russia Today television, RT, paid for by Vladimir Putin, with access to U.S. cable and satellite providers across the United States in order to undermine our will, to confuse the American people. These foreign broadcast channels are weapons of war against the United States.